In this episode of Twins Talk Therapy, let's talk about lateral epicondylitis or tennis elbow. My elbow. If only Twins Talk Therapy had a video on tennis elbow. Welcome back to another episode of Twins Talk Therapy. I'm Adam.
And I'm Aaron.
And we are twin brothers with over 30 years of experience in massage therapy, physical therapy, and athletic training. And today we're going to be talking about tennis elbow and exercises you can do to help relieve that. So when we talk about lateral epicondylitis, so those two words just come from where the area is located anatomy-wise on the body that is affected by this condition. Epicondylitis is just an inflammation of the soft tissue that connects to the epicondyle, or this point of bone at the end of the humerus by the elbow. And lateral epicondylitis is a condition involving the wrist extensors. So when we extend our wrist, the muscles attach up on the outside part or the lateral part of our elbow. So that's what we're talking about. The muscles attach in here. And so commonly with tennis, or in this case pickleball, when you're doing a back serve, that is when you're really flicking and activating those wrist extensors. And lateral epicondylitis is one of those conditions that develops over repetitive use and repetitive forceful stress on the lateral epicondyle, where the wrist extensor muscles attach. And this is developed because the body just doesn't have the time to recover the stress that is put on those wrist extensor muscles on the attachment point before the actions and the motions are repeated, causing this inflammation to occur. All right, so for some self-help exercises to help treat lateral epicondylitis pain, we want to do some muscle activation in different ranges. So this is something you can do yourself and using the resistance of your other hand to apply that resistance. So we're going to want to work the wrist in extension. So you can just lay your affected arm on the tabletop, surface, counter, whatever you have. And then you're going to just apply some pressure to the back of your hand, and you're just going to go into wrist extension. So just extending up the wrist here and just pushing. And you should probably feel it. If it's an acute flared up case of lateral epicondylitis, you'll probably feel some tenderness on that lateral epicondyle. And you're just going to go for reps and sets. You can start off with a few reps, so maybe 3 sets of 5, and then work up to 3 sets of 10 as the symptoms decrease. While you're here, let's hit all 4 directions. So you can go into radial deviation. So just turning your wrist up, or on the side here, thumb up, and applying resistance here with your other hand and going into radial deviation.
And then let's go into wrist flexion. So you're here. This is going to be working more of that inside elbow, but with an elbow injury, we'll work all 4 directions. So here, palm up, fist up. You're going to apply resistance and just go into wrist flexion. And repeat that for the same reps and sets. And the last one, you can either apply resistance with your hand or just use the surface that you've got your arm on, and just go into ulnar deviation, or the wrist bending towards the ulna, and go down into the tabletop, or applying resistance here. Next, we will go into using some rock floss bands to apply some shearing to help separate those layers of tissue. You can use voodoo bands, anything that's out there. So what you're going to want to do is get a good amount of tension, about 50% of the band resistance. Assist me here, Adam. It's probably good to have someone help you here. You can do it on your own. It just might take a little bit of finesse to get it going there. If you want to come back up a little above that. So you're going to feel the tension of the band is pretty tight on here. You should definitely feel it squeezing. And so from here, you can do elbow flexion. You can do pronation, or turning your palm down, and then supination, turning your palm up and roll the elbow basically. You can grab the band and do that shearing, so just twisting the tissue back and forth. You can pull up and then pull down towards your wrist, all just trying to manipulate those tissues to help alleviate those symptoms. And then last but not least, we're just going to do some self-massage. Pretty simple. You're going to find that spot that's tender, and you're just going to do some cross fiber friction. You don't have to go super aggressive. You don't want that pain to shoot up to 7, 8, 9 on a 10-point pain scale. Maybe a 5 to 6 is the max you want to feel, but trying to dig in a little bit and just rolling across those muscles you feel that attach right on that lateral epicondyle. I would say anywhere between 5 to a max of 15 minutes of self-massage. Do that a few days a week in combination with the other exercises, and let that take care of your lateral epicondylitis or tennis elbow pain. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video on lateral epicondylitis, commonly known as tennis elbow, or in this case, pickleball elbow. Hope these exercises help relieve that epicondylitis pain. And if you haven't already, please like this video, hit the subscribe button, and click the bell notification so you get notified every time we release a new video.
And if you have any comments, leave them below the video, and thanks for watching.
See you in the next one.